Alright, we're set. Hello and welcome
Hello.
to Cattle Prod's premiere podcast, the Prodcast. I'm your host and MC, Ethan Berman, joined by
Emily Schroed,
Matt Grabowski.
Evan Parks.
And this is our second episode.
Woo!
We put out our first episode this last week.
Consistency.
Fantastic reviews. All 12 people that watched.
Nice.
thank you, 12
Well, I wish
people.
those fantastic reviews from my end.
Stuff to work on.
We're working on it.
We just need to all get different voices.
Yeah, for sure. We all need to stop being white dudes.
Yeah.
And Emily.
No. We do what we can.
There's only so much we can do at the University of Texas.
Right. It's the best we can do. All right, first up, real talk. It's been bugging me for hours.
Hours.
Some might even say days.
Days.
I heard this girl in my astronomy class, and she was reading some BuzzFeed article about why Chandler Bing and Monica Geller are the best couple in TV history.
No.
Right.
Oh, so we're going with this.
I could immediately go ahead. Continue.
And she was going on and on and on about why Friends is the best TV show of all time. And I look at her and I go, "You're wrong, because Seinfeld exists."
You're telling a girl her opinion is wrong?
Yes.
Classic Ethan move.
I looked her right in the eye and I told her she's wrong. And she's like, "No, Seinfeld isn't funny."
That's
Wow.
Like, I felt my fist clench. I felt the blood boil in my body.
bowels tighten.
And I was like, can't we at least come to a compromise?
Ass
Maybe
clench.
recognize that Friends is made for you, right? Like, you are a college-age female. Friends fits your demographic, right? Like,
Sure.
cheap humor, nothing heavy, right? While Seinfeld maybe falls in my crowd more. I'm a pretentious film major. And she's like, no, objectively, Friends is a funnier show, beat by beat, has better writing.
So you offered her, like,
You threw
a friendship hand.
the olive branch
To-
was right there
yeah.
on the table immediately from the get-go.
She just didn't shake the friendship hand.
No,
Nuclear
no.
option
Here's
was
the
their first
thing.
move.
We gotta debate this. Like I said, we gotta debate this. We can't just all ream this girl that's not here. So we gotta talk this out.
Friends versus Seinfeld?
Friends versus Seinfeld.
All
I'll be on
right.
the side of Friends.
You saw it was Friends?
I will also side with Friends.
What?
All right.
We will
All right.
to play the
Play devil's
advocate.
All right, Seinfeld it up. Let's do this.
All right. So Seinfeld isn't just the best TV show ever made. It's one of the best examples of just postmodern media in general. It's irreverent. It's about nothing, but because it's about nothing, it's about everything.
God.
Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld managed to they unintentionally captured something that's so genius. They unintentionally managed to make a TV show that ran for 9 seasons about horrible characters, about just intentionally bad people just doing everyday things. Like one of the best episodes of television ever. The entire episode, the crew's stuck in a parking garage trying to find their car. And that's it. You're watching a half-hour episode about 4 people stuck in a parking garage because they couldn't remember what floor they parked on. And it's so relatable. It's so irreverent. It's perfect.
I love the small concepts, like minimalistic environment, just all heavy writing.
Hold up.
It's great.
Whose side are you debating?
I am on Friends. I was just giving that as my
Sure, that's-
counter argument, giving you a little bit of leadway before I say
You're buttering me up before you destroy me.
before I take you down.
Right.
So I can see that, but I can also see how. I mean, let's right off the bat. Even you, big friend. The 4 main characters in Seinfeld, horrible people.
Right.
They're horrible human beings. I can see how people are more attached to Friends.
Sure.
There's stronger chemistry. It's friendship to almost the degree
There's
of family.
6 horrible people instead of 4.
I say counterpoint, Ross Geller.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah. I'm not saying there aren't bad people in Friends.
Right.
Just saying that Seinfeld, it's a little bit harder to almost relate to them sometimes.
Friends definitely gives you more of like an anchor to be
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. Joey is a nice guy. What's her name? Phoebe's trying. But
Yeah.
the other thing is the romantic stuff, right? Like, low key, when you watch Seinfeld back, like I do every week, where I just watch all 9 seasons in a row on Hulu, you realize Jerry and George are players. Like,
Oh, George is a player.
George gets so many women. He almost marries this like beautiful blonde, and
Beautiful, rich blonde.
right. and then she dies because he poisons her by making her lick all the envelopes for their wedding. But Jerry's constantly there's this Vine, not Vine, it's like a Twitter video.
Vine's dead.
Yeah, I know. It's a Twitter video. Rest in peace, Vine. On Seinfeld Current Day, the best Twitter page of all time.
Sure.
And it's a compilation. They put like some rap song behind it. It's a compilation of every single girl Seinfeld's been with. And you're like, man, it's literally like triple digits.
Mm-hmm.
They're all 9 seasons. You're like, good for you, you know?
Well,
It's nice that Jerry could create that fictional reality for himself that he could sleep with.
Right. Meanwhile, there's a wife and 2 kids.
Yeah.
It's got to be a little bit like, I mean, don't get me wrong, all credits to Jerry and George, but you can recognize there's definitely a little bit of, why can't I write myself in with getting all these women?
Right.
It's your own character.
All right, so while I'll let you guys form some counter arguments why Friends is okay, which I won't believe anyway.
Sure.
Another point about Seinfeld. Post-show careers, way better for the Seinfeld crew than for the Friends crew.
Yeah, isn't... Okay.
Oh yeah, the guy who played Kramer, doing real well.
Oh, hey.
oh,
All right.
that noise you made. I got some points to talk about this too. Let's talk about their counterparts in more modern television shows.
Right.
I'd say Friends, very closely models like How I Met Your Mother.
100%.
Very, very similar shows.
Ross and Ted are very similar people.
Yeah, they're yeah. 9 seasons. Let me point that out right now. All right.
Go on.
The Seinfeld counterpart, the one that's super popular, even now, 12 seasons long. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
100%.
It's got the concept that works.
It's Always Sunny would not exist without Seinfeld too.
If you paint it out like that, if you make those the comparisons, then I'm over here basically left with no argument. Like,
No.
Sunny's.
Don't worry, Matt. I got it.
It's okay.
No,
I'm
We'll win.
to be honest, they're tripping me up over here. But let's not forget. Let us not forget the overall thing. Even though all 4 of us were grown, as soon as I say the name, we all know it. It's already festering in our minds. The big name TV show out there that
Frasier.
close.
All right.
Now, we have to recognize that shows like The Big Bang Theory still exist, and as credited as the #1 show on TV.
By CBS.
Yeah,
It's like Kim Jong Un saying he's the best ruler of a country in the world.
You're right.
perfectly put, Shrode.
Here's the thing about Big Bang Theory, and here's where television and film differ for me. As much as I throw my hands up in the air every time I watch a Transformers film, I'm like, what is going on? How are people watching this? How's this making billions of dollars? Same. I watched Fate of the Furious, and my dad walked out, and he was just like, that was plausible. And it was I love that film. We'll talk about that at some other point.
Okay.
Loved Fate of the Furious. That was a perfectly great addition to the series. Love the fact, we talked about this earlier. But with those movies, I don't hate them for existing. I understand why. There are billions of people in the world who don't speak English, right? So we can't, and they don't have the markets or the ability or the funds to make big blockbuster films. So it's smarter to make robots going boom or cars going boom or Vin Diesel punching The Rock in the face, and people go, oh, that's awesome, right? And they love those movie stars rather than having to rely on their own independent markets and et cetera, et cetera. So I understand with films, I'm like, as much as this isn't for me, I can still appreciate it.
Yeah.
That being said, with television, the big shows that you're supposed to enjoy, like How I Met Your Mother or Big Bang Theory, I look at them and all I do is groan. And the thing is, there's not even a production value in them. Like at least Transformers has like $500 million of a budget, with like they employ people from all over the world. You have like random Indian, whatever.
We're getting off topic.
Sure.
I want to hear, Shrode, what's your argument?
My
Tell us about
argument
Friends.
About Friends? If Seinfeld was so good, why did it last only 9 seasons as opposed to Friends, who lasted 10 seasons?
Damn.
Because they know when to stop. They knew when enough was enough. They knew that, oh, hey, maybe if we make this character pregnant.
We can just prolong this.
They weren't using that as a plot arc.
Let's make her...
Well, we're talking about television shows, not miniseries.
Right.
They got to keep going.
They don't have to keep going.
I would make the argument that in every girl's Tinder profile, where they say if you don't love friends, then you're not a good human being, has some weight to it. But you could also make the argument.
Wait,
You're
you want-
resulting to
you want Tinder,
them,
Matt?
The Tinder girls?
You want
But
Tinder, Matt?
In
Okay.
reality, let's talk about then the finales, because I think that's the thing that really trips a lot of people up that actually have watched all of the shows.
Right.
All right.
Ethan, would you say that Seinfeld has a good finale?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
I like courtroom dramas.
Well, that's a totally different topic that we don't need to talk about.
All right.
But Ethan, that hurt.
Personal attack.
So, I'm not sure how to feel about the Seinfeld finale. I recognize what they were going for,
Yeah.
but I think obviously there's some controversies about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are the people that are just like, what? This is so out of bounds. It's like you just wrapped up the whole thing by just throwing them all in jail. But in the end,
works. Critically, it works because they're horrible people.
they 100% are.
And in the entire series, you wonder, like, how do they get away with all these bad... Like, how does Kramer exist as a human being? Let alone,
Does
everything.
he have a job?
He's independently wealthy. He's like the dude
Yeah.
from Big Lebowski. I understand. Again, I think you kind of, like, nailed me there when you said that you can understand in Friends, like, girls will like that more because there's people you actually enjoy and how it's a lot more, like, digestible. But with Seinfeld, I think it's like Sunny, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can watch you can show someone the dentist system for the first time, and they're gonna be horrified. Like, what show is this? This is allowed on television? But you show someone who's been jaded by watching shows like Seinfeld and all this, like, postmodern, like, garbage ever, and they watch Sunny and they're like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, I need to consume all of it.
Well, I'm going to flip-flop a little bit here.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about the pilots for both television shows, all right?
Uh-huh.
So, the Seinfeld pilot,
The Diner.
The Diner. Well, there's a big difference between Friends and Seinfeld in that the Friends had a bit more of a story as opposed to Seinfeld of just, people meeting up.
The characters aren't even the same. Kramer's called Cosmo.
Oh, yeah.
He's just the wacky neighbor, not even their friend. And the waitress is a character in the show. She's like, how you doing there, Judge? Getting the same thing you always do. But yeah, I agree that Friends, what you see in the pilot of Friends,
It establishes itself.
resembles what the rest of the show is.
Now, also going back to the Seinfeld side, auditorily, I like everyone's voices more.
Sure.
And the laugh tracks. Seinfeld has a lot more demure, quieter laugh track than Friends. Friends is very loud and in your face every time they say a sentence.
I had a conversation with someone the other day, and my roommate actually, and it was like, oh yeah, like Seinfeld's better because it doesn't have a laugh track. And then I was like, no, Seinfeld has a laugh track. He's like, what? And we like played it back, and we're like, wow, Seinfeld has a laugh track. And I'm like, yeah, you just don't notice it because it's a
Because
lot
you're actually
more
laughing during it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's during well-placed moments, and it's not. You never have that like stupendous, uproarious laugh. It's just like the only time you really notice it's like, oh, here's a cue to laugh at Kramer being stupid. Like those are the times I notice because I normally don't laugh out loud at those moments. But with Friends, it'll be like Joey just walks in without pants on, and it's like.
10 seconds of like.
Let me go to
getting
my
Rachel's
classic
reaction.
tinned laughter.
All right, I think we can end this topic purely because we all recognize.
Well, I have one final point.
All right.
Let's talk about spin-offs.
Oh,
Friends spin-off.
Joey.
Joey.
Seinfeld, kind of spin-off.
100% spinoff. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Best show on television.
It is. Oh, is it television
Well,
if it's HBO? Better than television.
Yeah, thank you, HBO.
Yeah.
All of it on Amazon Prime, enjoying it.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
No, for sure. Like, again, as I said, post-show, like post-mortem. Friends existed for 10 seasons and exists. David Schwimmer was in Madagascar.
What a good movie.
Arguably...
Phenomenal.
Actually, really good
It's a
kids
real
movie.
good-
No, it is a good kids movie for sure. Solid cast too. Chris Rock, Ben Stiller, but Courtney Cox, arguably the most successful post. She was in Cougar Town. She had her she was the star of her own TV show that was fairly successful. What's her face? Lisa Kudrow never really did anything afterwards. She has a web series.
She was an Easy A.
She was an Easy A, yeah. So that sums up her career. Matthew Perry became a drug addict. Played Zac Efron. Like, that's how you know your career is dead. When you're Matthew Perry in 13 Going on 30. Or what the male version of that. What was that movie?
It was
17
17
again.
again.
17 again. And you're playing the chubby, your career, you know, you lost your hopes and dreams.
Elder Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. I should tell you
It's
something.
a great movie, though.
He's also in Fallout New Vegas, but
Well,
then Seinfeld.
Who's the
Jerry,
voice in New Vegas?
he's Benny. The dude who shoots you in the head.
yeah.
You're right.
Bada bing. And Seinfeld though.
The game was rigged from the start.
I know. Julie Dreyfus. Veep.
Veep.
She's won like the most Emmys back to back than any other person of all time. Veep's an incredibly fantastic, successful show. Jason Alexander acted in a lot of like Jack Black movies. He was in Shallow Hal, great film. He has a lot of old like spoken word and stuff like that. Jerry, his comedians cards getting coffee. He's also one of the richest comedians of all time.
Yeah,
He's really a billionaire.
He made bank from just the show alone.
Just the show. No,
Yeah.
the way
They're
they
still like
signed
making and like selling merchandise.
Oh, yeah.
the way they sign the contracts. Only Jerry and Larry get syndication rights.
Yeah.
So everyone, and also DVD sales.
Mhm.
Everyone else just got their paychecks and bounced.
Yeah, God, there's got to be some strong grudges there. Man.
And the thing is, they never renegotiate. Like every other show, that's why there's writer strikes and actor
Right.
strikes. It's because they renegotiate. They renegotiate. Seinfeld, they were like, we're all friends, we're cool. Well, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is independently wealthy. She's literally like a billionaire. Her dad like owns this massive company, and he's a billionaire. So,
Dang.
but
Yeah, no, Jerry Seinfeld has no problem.
no, he's fine. That's why he does community cars getting coffee, because he just puts a GoPro on his windshield, drives around fancy cars, hangs out with comedian friends, and it's a great show.
Not for sure.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
I think we could agree that there are people who like Friends and they're justified
There
and
are.
enjoying
100%.
Friends.
There's
like
an audience for it.
this isn't Big Bang Theory where I'm like, I don't understand how you enjoy Bazinga, you know, but I understand why you
We all
like
agree.
Friends.
We hate Bing Bang. Bing Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
Bing Bang
Ba-ba-ba.
Bet.
Bada bing, bada
Hands down.
bing.
Bazinga.
So I can go this forever.
Yeah.
Evan, what do you got?